we may be able to photograph some of the dreams that you have. This has already been done at Kyoto University, not with dreams, but with a person looking at an object. A computer decodes the images on an MRI scan. We can now recognize, the first thing that was done was a horseshoe. You can actually see the horseshoe, the person's horseshoe that he's looking at via an MRI scan. But in the article, it says that the next target is dreams. Maybe one day we'll be able to record your dreams. This is how it looks like. You have to put this thing on top of your head, but in the future, it may be invisible. It may be painless and invisible, and you'll be able to surf the web all by yourself. Also, we should also point out that we can actually use this for a lie detector test. When you tell a lie, your brain scan lights up like a Christmas tree. That's because first, you have to know the truth. Second, you have to create the lie. Third, you have to create the cover-up of the lie. And fourth, you have to analyze the consistency of the cover-up with all the other lies you've been telling all these years. That's a lot of brain power. And you can actually see that on an MRI scan. Now let me say a few things about the far future. So far, everything I've talked about is the near future. We're talking about 10, 20, 50 years in the future. Now let's look even farther. We went to NASA, and we visited the scientists who dream of one day building a starship. This, of course, is far beyond anything we can muster with today's technology. However, we actually interviewed scientists who believe that it may be possible to bend the fabric of space and time so that we can leap forwards across enormous distances, perhaps using Einstein's theory. This is a black hole. Black holes are not science fiction anymore. We photographed the accretion disk of black holes. This black hole lies at the center of a gigantic galaxy, NGC 4258. That dot you see at the very center is about 1 light year across. In the inside of the dot is a raging black hole. In fact, if you want to see a black hole tonight, go outside, look in the direction of Sagittarius. That is the center of the Milky Way galaxy. There's a black hole there, which in some sense lies at the center of our galaxy. So kids ask the question, if the moon goes around the Earth goes around the sun, then what does the sun go around? Well, we know the answer to that. The sun goes around a black hole in the constellation Sagittarius at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Now, if you look at that black hole, it's rather disappointing. Dust clouds obscure the galactic nuclei. If you could somehow remove the dust clouds, then you would see a fireball, a